For me as a man, yeah, just realizing that I had to put forth effort into myself. I had to establish boundaries. I had to learn what it meant to be masculine in the sense of ensuring that my surroundings feel safe in an unsafe world.
Roll me, Mac.
What's something you realize in life that changes you as a man? Something that you realize in life that changes you as a man. A man must provide in order to receive love. And understanding what that means without throwing a tantrum or, pity party, woe was me, I'm a man, so I won't get love unless, I put forth effort. But it's just the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to want a position in life, you're going to have to do the work to get that in return. And as far as like working towards being what you would deem a high value man, and granted, depending on where you are, will determine what that even means for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am in no way in comparison to that of an NBA player, of, entertainers in general, as far as finances go. Yet, that is, we're definitely working towards that. But how you carry yourself, the type of things that you complain about. Are you heard complaining? Are you, like recognizing how men that act like, woe is me get treated, and the level of respect that comes for them? Because, I've been that. I was the one that was trying to get, reaching out for attention. It doesn't look like you're reaching for titties, but reaching out for attention. You know what I'm saying? Pick me up, see me, woe is me. I am, somebody fucked me over. Where's the justice? And all of that shit. And in all honesty, it becomes a turnoff, man. Like Marcus Aurelius, one of my favorite quotes by Marcus Aurelius is, never be heard complaining, even to yourself. And trying to be someone that embodies security, that doesn't waver. It doesn't mean that you don't go through shit. You just go through shit with the confidence that whatever's gonna happen on the other side is just what's gonna happen, man. Like when you get caught fucking up in something, when you get caught failing, just take it. Just take it. It's not the end all be all for you. It's a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. You can look at situations as something to where this is it for me. This is just what my label is. Or I can see this as an opportunity to learn something, learn another skill. see how I can overcome adversity. But getting back to the original point, where have you ever seen a man that complains so much get so rewarded outside of Kanye West? No shots. That's one of my favorite producers of all time. One of my biggest mentors. But in all honesty, like, where in your day-to-day life do you see a man that complains so much, be rewarded by his peers? Where's the respect that comes with that? And it's not like you don't do it at all, you know. It's not like you don't find your frustrations with life and how things are, the cards that are dealt to you. But it's understanding that no one gives a fuck. Honestly, you're a man. And that, like, many things in life will teach you that. Like, granted, you would want somebody like to be there for you. At the same time, you don't want to be treated like you don't know how to do what you're doing. You don't want to be treated like you don't know how to lead. You don't want to be treated like you're not able to command your troops. And you know what I'm saying? In battle can mean many things. It can mean life. It can mean going on a date. It can mean at work. It can mean whatever it is, you know? And what like I said, I learned this as a man. It's like when I stopped complaining and, acting like the world owed me something. And that's another lesson I've learned. The world don't owe me shit, man. Honestly, the world don't owe you shit. I don't give a fuck what you've done for people. They don't owe you nothing. That's why it's important to love unconditionally. Because when we love conditionally, we have this idea that all this work that we've been doing towards this thing, but towards this person, they owe us something in return. That's entitlement. Who am I to be entitled to something? You know what I'm saying? I deserve love. No, I chose to love. I wasn't in a situation that I did, you go through a bad breakup, you with somebody that doesn't value you. They're also with somebody that doesn't value you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because that person didn't value you, you still have to value you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you. They're there giving the best love that they know how. You have to give the best love that you know how. But it also starts with yourself. And that was that's something that changed me as a man. I believe that because I was doing all the, trying to pull all the stops, trying to get this person to see that I love them so that they could love me, I was expecting them to do love in my mind, you know what I'm saying, the way that I wanted it. But when they showed up and loved me the only way that they know how, then if it didn't match up with what I had, then I was disappointed. It doesn't mean that love wasn't there. It just means that I had an idea of love that you didn't give. And that's not your responsibility. My idea of the love that you can give has nothing to do with the love that you actually give. Like I said, that's a lesson I learned. And what I do know, regardless of the fact of that person's inability to love, I know that a man will not be loved properly with respect if he does not put forth the effort. God in the universe is not going to reward you. I mean, truth be told, the same can be said about a woman. If she does not put the effort into herself, the boundaries, you know what I'm saying, there's not going to be many boundaries there for her. And the world is going to treat you how you treat yourself. And that's a tough pill to swallow. So again, we think, I love so much. I deserve love. I deserve a good family. I deserve a great job. You don't get out of life what you deserve. You get out of life what you earned. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You get out of life the work you put, the efforts that you put in. And it's going to come a time where you're going to have to make a decision between them or you. And that's for male or female. You're going to have to make a decision because you keep running into the same fire, wondering how you got burned. Those people are on fire. Why the fuck would you go near them? You're going to get burned. You know what I mean? And you won't be able to deal with the fire until you put on your firefighting suit, which is your healthy boundaries. You know what I mean? So when you're in the midst Because you can't change them. You will not change a person that's in pain. Those people in pain, they're just in pain. That's just all what it is. But if you have the healthy boundaries, if you learn to respect yourself as a man in this particular situation, you learn to respect yourself as a man, you will walk away once you are no longer respected. Once you are no longer treated as, of value. And the same can be said for women. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like you're not being valued, when you feel like, it's a waste of time, there is nothing holding you back but you as far as walking away when you don't feel valued anymore. Because again, people evolve, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all play a part of people's lives. And like boys to men, we get to the end of the road at times, and it's time to ascend. It's time to move on to something else. That's life. For real, it's life, man. You couldn't stay in high school forever. You eventually had to go. You couldn't stay watching Barney and all that little kid shit. Eventually you had to evolve. And, like all the things, everything, everything's temporary. Everything is temporary, so why not enjoy the present moment? Because one day we're going to be saying, remember when we did this? And that was in the present moment at the time. Make the present moment look good as a motherfucker when you look back on it. You know what I mean? I think that's one way of looking at things. But like, for me as a man, just realizing that I had to put forth effort into myself. I had to establish boundaries. I had to learn what it meant to be masculine, in the sense of ensuring that my surroundings feel safe in an unsafe world, and learning how to talk to people, for that matter, you know what I mean? And realizing that nothing anyone does is about me. And that's a tough thing to swallow, because, you come into this world and you think that everything that happens is about you. But as you get older, you learn to turn off your ego. Your ego thinks that everybody's talking about them and everything everyone does is about them. But if you turn it, literally, you catch yourself in a moment where you find yourself wanting to prove yourself, you're upset, turn the ego off. And just look at things from the soul, which is challenging. It's very challenging for me as a man to learn that even if it's directed directly at me, it's not about me. And because there's some unresolved issues, I'm sure, like we all have, where you want to prove yourself, you want to defend yourself. But once you get to a place of peace within your soul, like honestly getting in tune with your soul, there's no need to defend yourself anymore. That's how you know you've matured. That's how you know you've grown. A lot of us feel the need to defend ourselves. We want to be something, to be accepted, instead of just being who we are and belonging. And I don't know, I just got tired. I got tired of trying to fit in. And I love doing what I do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, as long as it doesn't, interfere with anybody else's shit. But something I've learned that changed me as a man is that you have to put forth effort in order to get that respect that you desire from your peers, be it other men, be it women you see, be it hell your family. But you got to learn to take yourself seriously when no one else will. What takes your breath away? What takes my breath away? Let's start off music. There's strings. Like when I hear, for instance, one song that literally takes my breath away from immediately from when it starts is Spice Girls, To Become One. Like initially, that song right there from the beginning, and then the bridge with the acoustic guitar. Not so much their lyrics, but they flow. Their voices do flow well with the with the music, but the strings, man. Like, you just find you a nice pair of headphones or a great stereo and listen to Become One by the Spice Girls. And whoever that producer is, God bless you, man, or woman. You know, that to me is one of the greatest intros I've ever heard, outside of the obvious, and there's no comparison to it, Human Nature. Which brings me to my next point in this segment about music. Human Nature. Breath away every time. When I tell you I've listened to that song probably since the age of 4. I have yet to get tired of hearing that song. I literally can listen to that song on repeat. Every other day I try to find a new version of that song, like somebody using maybe even AI shit, but like a cover of it. And I'm on cloud 9 or whatever, whatever the equivalent is, the cloud 9 is. I'm there. But another thing that takes my breath away, the ocean. The ocean combined with people walking their pets, people walking on the ocean, looking at families, play. And they perceive to be like in good spirits by the ocean. That to me takes my breath away. Looking at, I'll say, being at the ocean during sunset. Not too crazy about the sun going up, but the sunset. Like if you ever get a chance to go to Key West and watch the sun's, because that's like one of the lowest points that you can see, like the sun go down. I recommend that on the bucket list, being able to do so. There's one time where my best friend, his family, we all drove down to Key West and we literally got there. We had to run. We got there just in time to watch the sunset. And, it's like a thing out there. It's a tourist attraction where everyone just gets to that particular point and watch the sun go down. But yeah, literally takes my breath away. I'd like to see that. I'll say another thing that takes my breath away is the beauty of a woman. And not like obviously the typical, just how pretty she is. But we're talking about how gracefully she carries herself. She does not allow her masculinity to interfere with what it means of being in her feminine as a woman. Like, I promise you, like the women, this is again, listen very closely. The cheat sheet. You are not going to outman a man. So in arguments, trying to out yell him. No, let me tell you something. There is not a man. I don't believe it. I truly don't believe there is a man that can withstand the power of femininity, man. Like a woman that is so calm. Even, like I said, even if he's, up to no good, a woman standing firm in her femininity, man, like it's offsetting. It diffuses bombs. It diffuses tension. And maybe not for a high school class, because Miss Ficklin definitely was back at Nansman. We were her first class. It definitely did not work. She was just she couldn't harm a fly, man. And I, looking back, I just felt so bad for how we were. She tried, but it was filled with so much like I said, feminine energy. It's very soft spoken and calm, But like on a day-to-day basis, like dealing with a mate or whatever. I'll say that, dealing with a mate. At work, be like the men around you, you know what I mean? But and I'll say like in the day-to-day world and like dating and stuff, like governing yourself with like around a man, especially if he operates in his masculine and not the just screaming at you type shit just to prove his masculinity. But literally just when a woman knows how to take care of her appearance, takes time in the mirror to work on herself, takes time in the mirror to work on whether it be makeup, whatever the fuck it is that you use, to, say, doll yourself up. The ability to work on fashion, the ability to the graceful walk, like real shit. When a feminine woman of value walks in a room, everything shifts. The energy, you can just feel the energy. But you also feel that energy, feel a certain type of energy when you're dealing with the ones who operate in their masculine. But it doesn't give energy, it drains it. It's an energy vampire, Like you just feel it and you just can't wait for this motherfucker to leave because she drains the room that she walks into. She's loud, she's brash, she acts like a poor version of a man. And that, to me, it's not kosher. It doesn't bring peace. It doesn't complement a man's life. But let me tell you, a woman that really is firm and is trusting into her feminine, and she carries herself like you dig. You know what I'm saying? Like she just carries herself like a fucking lady, as Adele Givens would always say on Def Comedy Jam. But in all seriousness though, like that gracefulness of how she carries herself, you want to protect that. You want to protect that femininity. Not even about you getting the draws or attack. You know what I'm saying? Like having her in an intimate way. But that femininity must be protected, especially like how things are in our society, just as much as that secure masculinity, that calm masculinity must be protected by other women. Otherwise, we're fucked. Dead ass, we're fucked. But yeah, a woman that's fully firm and confident in her femininity takes a man's breath away. Even women too, let me tell you. Like, even like the respect, like again, just gracefulness. Like the other day, I was watching, I don't watch much of Breakfast Club. I seen a clip on like YouTube where it may be TikTok, but Felicia Rashad walked in. When I tell you that they got right, when Felicia Rashad walked in, they got right. Because of the level of respect that she has for herself and her femininity, and even now to this day, those of us who grew up, 80s, 90s, remember watching the Cosby Show. You never saw her out of pocket. Now she'll get in your ass, don't get me wrong, she would get in your ass, but you never saw Felicia Rashad out of pocket as far as how she carried herself. And she had sexuality in totality. And when she spoke Spanish, my God, let me tell you, when she would speak, like I said, when she would speak Spanish and shit, again, so fluently too. And it was just massive sex appeal, of course, because, Spanish is a language of love. Along with, French and shit like that. But like seriously, to me, one of the most beautiful languages to hear expressing your love to somebody is, of course, Spanish. But like that to me takes my breath away. And then of course, artwork too. Artwork is another thing. I love going to like art museums and seeing historical pieces. Something dating back to, who knows, the 1800s, 1700s. And letting that picture speak for itself. And a lot of artwork that I really like to see is waterfalls and lions, tigers too, no bears, but lions and tigers in portraits, and some of the most majestic things that I've ever seen. Which I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is definitely something that takes your breath away. Again, like I said, dating back to music, Kanye. When I would just wait for Kanye to come up with a soul sample, or you know what I'm saying, or even just listening to soul music would take my breath away. Another song, and I'll close out with this. A song that takes my breath away each time I hear it is Chic. Will You Cry? When you hear the song, Will You Cry? From start to finish, and again, it goes back to strings. I love strings. Like nobody's business, but the things that take my breath away, music, the ocean, seeing families, a woman firm within her femininity, and artwork. Yeah, capturing historical pieces and seeing them in a museum. What's the first thing you notice when you're around women? Energy. First thing I notice when I'm around a woman is her energy, the energy that she gives off. And if I'm going to be okay around it, honestly, some don't realize that the pain that they've been through, they hold on to it. And we can feel it. When you're in a room, you'll drain the shit out of me for a limited time. It's a limited time offer for how long I'm allow you to drain the fuck out of me. I'm not for it. Not at all. Like I said, you can feel it. You know, we spoke about earlier, talking about an energy vampire. Yeah. Be able to have a bag of garlic around you so that you can move all them fucking vampires out the fucking way. But like, the first thing I notice is just, her energy. How entitled she feels. How she carries herself. Does she make everything about her? Does she believe that she is the center of the universe everywhere she goes? And she either compliments or she complicates the situation. That's power of woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, does she use her power of a woman to complicate a situation, or does she use it to complement a situation? That's, to me, what ultimately matters. That's what I recognize when I get around women in general. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's just anywhere. That's not just for dating. That's just like women in general. People in general, for that matter, is recognizing energy. But what I notice when I'm around women is just their energy. Do they have this entitlement that they just feel like the world owes them something? Do they feel like they're better than others? Do they believe that she deserves this thing or what have you? And once I feel that, I distance myself, because it's draining. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be around people that drain energy. I want to be around people that actually give energy, so that we can do whatever it is that we're trying to do. But yeah, the first thing I notice when I'm around a woman is just their energy. Compliment, complicate, one or the other. If you could only love or be loved, which would you choose? Well, if it was up to me, I would only love. Because there's so much anxiety that I've spent throughout the years waiting to be loved. And be loved in the manner that I want to be loved by that individual, not their actual ability to love. So I would rather just give love. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can control, and I have it in abundance too. So I don't want to be sitting around waiting to figure out if this person loves me. It's a waste of time. the only thing that you can control is your ability to love. And love yourself enough to where you feel like you're being disrespected that you can walk away. And it took a very, very long time to learn that lesson, man. Wow, man. You know, I've had some of the best teachers to teach me that. Starting with family, of course, because that's the first world you know. And then, of course, the people that you meet outside of family in school and all of that, and going on to being an adult, the people you meet there, and just trying to force a person to love you in a way that they don't even know how. But you just believe that they do because you have this idea of them. You see potential in this person. But learning to love a person right where they are is a challenge. And you got to decide if that's for you. Because if you're trying to change them, then you don't really love them. You love this idea of them in your mind that they might not even know. They might not even see it. They don't even know how, you know, the potential that they may not even believe the potential that they have. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's tough. It's tough, right? But yes, if I could only love or be loved, it would definitely be to love. And like I said, you know, there's a sense of that's something you can't control. And there's less anxiety with it when you focus only on the love that you give and not the love of others. And learning to love unconditionally, man. People are going to be people. Some days they'll coincide with what you're thinking as far as how the day is going to go. And then there's days where it's like, all right, that doesn't match my idea of them. And then you still have to decide. Do you still choose to love them, or do you choose to love yourself? I say choose to love yourself, number one, because you'll recognize when someone doesn't love you. But if you're so focused on loving everybody else, you'll never know when you're being disrespected, in my mind. Because for a long time, I was trying to love everybody else. Yeah, I was trying to love everybody else. And it drained the shit out of me, man. To the point of, I wasn't sure if I wanted to, I felt like I wasn't enough. Because I spent so much time focusing on them instead of me and what I actually like and what I'm into. And I found myself to be pretty interesting, you know? So I'm okay. Like, I don't fear time alone. Not like I did before. But I don't fear time alone. I enjoy the moments that I'm able to create with myself, you know, in many ways. But in all seriousness, I do enjoy the creativity that comes with sitting alone with your thoughts and recognizing that you're not your thoughts, remembering to observe, not absorb your thoughts, treating thoughts like the Buddhist monks say, clouds passing. You know, those thoughts like, those people don't like me at the job, my family doesn't love me, or whatever. Let it pass. You know, it's a cloud in the sky. Don't take it personal, because you don't know that for sure. That's just a thought based off of your own experience and how you feel about yourself. So it's an insecurity. You're projecting your pain. You're projecting how you feel about yourself on others. That's why it's so important to love you. When you spend so much time loving others, you start to think about everybody else. You become codependent on others' approval of you, their validation of you, for you to feel okay, for your nervous system to be all right. Nobody likes me, so I got to do something so people to like me. And fuck them. What do they know? You know what I mean? Like, don't believe, like Don Miguel Ruiz, like I said, my mentor, one of the mentors, says, don't believe the lies that you tell yourself, and don't believe anybody else's lies that they tell themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just thoughts. They just go through, and it's like detaching from those thoughts. But knowing that love isn't about proving yourself to anybody. It just is. It's a choice. You know, it's a choice to love. It's not as difficult as we make it out to be. The ego makes love more challenging than it needs to be. Fear, for that matter, fear makes love challenging. But love itself just feels amazing, right? Just like the pure action of love. I'm not speaking on relationship, like in the sense of like, you know, I love you, we're getting married type thing. I'm talking about the actual action of love, like choosing to do that. It's so powerful, and we make it more, and we make it challenging. We make it more challenging than it needs to be because we have the ability to think like a dog, man, like a dog. Other pets that won't eat your ass, but like a dog genuinely just loves and doesn't even know it's a dog. Just think about that. I mean, a human gave that label to this creature. You know, it could have been anything. Could have been called whatever. You know what I'm saying? But this dog just loves. It feels. It knows when you're off your shit. It comes and it greets you. It gives you love even when you don't want the shit. Getting home from a bad day, they'll lick the shit out of you, you know, and just to show love. And they'll even protect if they feel like there's a threat in the fucking room. But they give love. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it. And they do it in an unconditional manner. Meanwhile, you holding out love because you're trying to see if people feel the same way you do. Fucking ego, man. Ego, fear. We are so caught up within ourselves. And the way that I was watching, in my YouTube studies, I was watching a guy, it's like, how do you kill the ego? You do for others, right? Like the joy that you get in being able to do something doesn't mean you just overextend yourself. Don't get me wrong now. But like the ability to, let's say you're having a bad day and you're just all focused on you. And then you walk out the gym, you hold the door for an elderly woman or just anybody that's there. And you tell them to have a, have a productive day, whatever that is. The dopamine that you get from that moment, it eases the symptoms of whatever you're feeling about just focusing on yourself. Like you get so much inside your head, and that's I know I definitely suffered from that, where I would get so much inside my head that I would create these narratives about everyone, including myself. So it's it's lies based on insecurities and experiences with people, but I don't get to speak for them. I can come up with my own perspective on things and I can have an unconscious assumption about it, but I don't get to speak for them, just as they don't get to speak for me as to why something happened. But what you can do, is love, right? So having the ability to just give love and not be concerned about the love of others is it's freeing. Number one, it's freeing, but it's also recognizing respect too, and that's where I draw the line. I don't have a problem giving love. I have a problem when I'm being disrespected or I'm not being valued, because I can't control the love I get. I tried it. I've tried it for years. I tried it with family. I've tried it with whatever, that love you don't have any control over, but you do have control over the love that you give. So it's like learning to give that unconditionally. And it comes with time, and we all go through changes and understanding these things and maturity. But I definitely believe that I'm in firm control of the love that I give, and I have no control over the love that I receive. So, if it came down to the question, like the question states, if you could only give love or be loved, what would I choose? I would choose to give love. That's the only shit I have control over. I'm a bit of a control freak. I'll admit it. I own up to it. But that's it. We're done. Good night, kids. If you could live your entire life free from any emotional pain, would you choose to do it? No. No. There are days where I felt like, shit, please take this shit away. I'm tired of hurting. But no, I wouldn't take it away because I'd lose the lesson. The lesson is in the pain, and the pain is in the lesson. If you did not go through what you went through, you wouldn't know what the fuck you know now. If you did not try to touch the hot stove, you would not know how hot that motherfucker was. So when you go through emotional pain, I truly believe that is you going against the universe. The universe is trying to teach you something, but you want things to go your way. So you are going against the grain, and you're trying to change what is already destined to be. And the universe will let you do it for so long, and then after a while, the universe is going to push you into your next checkpoint in life. And very grateful for it. Grateful for the emotional pain that comes with it. As you look back on it, like, oh, that's what you were trying to teach me. Thank you, God. You know, thank you to your universe and how it works. And just that I'm not always, it's not always going to go according to what I envisioned. Yeah, it's great for me to have goals and, you know, to steer my ship in that direction. But I have no idea how I'm going to get to said goals. Sometimes there's a storm ahead, and the universe will move you in a position to where that storm is no longer in your way. But because we had this idea of the goal, no, I'm going right into this bitch. I'm going right into the belly of the beast. But it's about trusting the universe, man. Trusting it. Everything you went through, you were supposed to go through. That's why you got present day you. The knowledge that you have, I don't care what it is. And you know, we want to erase our past. We want to erase things that we've done. But until we learn to love ourselves unconditionally, flaws and everything, we won't ever be able to achieve, like, to use those powers that the universe has for us. And that's where it is. It's like learning to embrace everything. And again, you can talk about how your parents weren't there for you. You can talk about how you didn't have your family support. You can talk about, you know, they held me back at the job. But now look at you. If you did not go through that, you wouldn't have those skills that you have now, that you're able to use. You change one thing, you change everything. It's just your story. And your story doesn't have to be my story. There's difference, you know, there's different levels of success. You know what I'm saying? And we define our success. But that, like I said, that ability just to endure and take on life as it comes, it teaches you so much. So that emotional pain gives forth so much more energy, right? And less, again, the pain is in the lesson is in the pain. Like, it may not feel good at the time because we're going against it, we're fighting against it. But if we learn a more fati, accept things as they are, not we want them to be, then we will conquer this thing. It actually moves a lot smoother when you learn to move with the universe and trust the universe. Trust God and his universe, her universe, whatever you believe in. Like learning to move with that. And once you align yourself, everything moves out the way, it feels like. You know, you're trying to just run the same plan, of course, same plan of action, and it's clearly not working. The universe is trying to tell you something. So that emotional pain that you've been avoiding, the things that you've been avoiding, that's your way out. It's just uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to safety. You don't want to deal with that pain anymore. But that's the way out. Myself included, man. You know, just The emotional pain of like going down the road less traveled, feeling afraid, having fears, trying to amend things. Emotional pain. Gotta have the courage to go through it. If not, you will continue to suffer, for you're going against the grain. But if you learn to appreciate things as they are, not what you want them to be, live fully in amor fati, you'd be surprised what happens to your life. All of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we fought with, like, I know for me going in the military, I was fighting it. I did not, after I saw how it was in basic training and all this stuff, I was hating life at one point in time. I wanted to go home to my safety net. I'm going back to my mama. I'm going back to live with my damn mama. I'm going back to fight with my little brother, and life will be okay. But I was in a position where the boats were burned behind me. So I had to stick it out. And because I stuck it out, a life was given to me that I couldn't even fathom when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? The ability to stand on my own 2 feet, the ability to be on my own amongst like my peers and stuff, like all of us, we came from our parents' house. Most of us came from our parents' house, and then we were able to create our own homes. Some of us becoming parents and, going on to making better things, having bigger homes than we've ever thought we dreamed of. But it wouldn't happen if we didn't go through said emotional pains. There was a lot of emotional pain we all went through. We lost, people that in our lives passed away. We had breakups. We've gone through so much, but we're here today still telling the story. And that's the, practicing gratitude. Still being able here to tell the story. So, I don't know, man. A lot of times I can focus on the shit that I don't have, and I can find myself feeling horrible. But I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the shit that I have, man. I got a lot. I got more than the shit that I'm focused on that I don't have, you know what I mean? And more than likely you do too. But we're never satisfied. We keep focusing on what we don't have versus what we do. And truth be told, we have ourselves, and that's enough, man. Like to get through. Me and myself have gone through 100% of our bad days together, and we still here. And I think it's the same for you too. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't dare remove any emotional pain. I would still stay strong within this fight. The emotional pain has brought me so much, and it's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in the gym. It hurts to build muscle, and the brain is a muscle. Emotional pain is the workout, and you gotta go through it. You gotta go through the workout. It's just a daily workout for some of us, as long as we go against the grain. But when we stay in tune with the universe, get in tune with God, and I ain't talking about like religion. I'm literally talking about like the powers of the universe. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But being aligned with the universe, man, will change your life forever. And giving respect to it, practicing gratitude. That's how you give love to God and the universe, is by practicing gratitude. Being grateful for the things that you have. And you'd be surprised about that emotional pain and how it leaves. And you still experience pain. You just don't have it just feel like you experience as much. Because gratitude works that way. You're not able to be down and practice gratitude. You think about three things that you have to be grateful for, and be surprised. Then you'd be surprised how you feel after recognizing such. Your spirit just knows, man. But as I say all the time, man, sending positive and healing energy to everyone that watches the shows. Takes time to watch the show. Very grateful for your time. If you made it this damn far in the show, thank you. And truth be told, they say all the time in the ALUX videos, if you made it this far, do us a favor, man. Just hit like. Just hit like on the show. Hit like on YouTube. Like on Spotify.
But yeah, if you made it this far, truly help us out with the algorithm. Hit like. I'm out.